Well, we're going to finish on BBC One and BBC iPlayer with the return of the comedy drama Ludwig. And here's a clip.
Hello, I'm John Taylor, puzzle consultant.
You're a crime-solving puzzle setter. Huh.
I got a job at the paper.
PCI Taylor, your brother. Where is he?
Missing detectives, multiple murders, and high-ranking cover-ups.
This is Bets Taylor. Are you just taking pictures of my crime scene?
Everyone who has any blood on them, please raise their hands.
Yes, so it was 2024. I couldn't believe that because we reviewed this at the time, and I can't believe it was 2024 when David Mitchell's comedy Ludwig captured everybody, didn't it? Everyone seemed to really like it. And in his words, one of the first things that's ever worked, kind of first time of his, he talks about a slow burn for things. And actually, this works kind of really, really well. This is, I like it. And I think the majority of people do. That's why it's back. And like he says, it's not a slow burn. This is just David Mitchell being David Mitchell in his true brilliance, I would say. He's kind of been thrust into this world of. If you haven't seen the first series, I think you should watch it. I think it really helps and sets the scene here. But he plays the part of John, who's been thrust into the world of crime solving. When his twin James, who was a Cambridge detective, suddenly vanished. Anyway, he becomes by proxy this kind of detective and then gets offered a job. And it's just funny because it's just David Mitchell, exactly how you see him on Last One Laughing or, Would I Lie to You? He sort of plays himself in this kind of ridiculously, brilliantly bright way. And it is very, very funny. You've got Motherland's Anna Maxwell Martin in here as well, who plays James's wife, Lucy Betts Taylor. Again, they work very, very nicely. They bounce very, very well off together. And so he's back on the job. He's back trying to solve crimes when that is not really his job at all. But his sort of ability to and attention to detail knows no bounds, which of course is why he uncovers things that the actual professionals can't. It's pretty funny and it's pretty different. But I do think you should watch the first series before you watch this. Would you agree, Ian?
I would agree. There's just something magical about this. It just really works. And I mean, David Mitchell, I used to think, watching him in Peep Show as Mark Corrigan, I used to think that got to be what David Mitchell is really like. But it wasn't. And watching this again, you think, this again, he's just a really good actor. But yes, you wonder what it's like, Shay, David Mitchell and Victoria Corrin Mitchell, because she presents the Only Connect, in which people solve puzzles. And he is in this, about a man who invents puzzles. Anyway, that's by the by. Yeah, so in series 1, as you say, his detective twin brother went missing, but he went into the force pretending to be his brother so that he could kind of get access to information. But now in this series, he's been taken on as himself, as a consultant. And yes, his sister-in-law, Lucy, is played by Anna Maxwell Martin is just so amazing. She's brilliant at comedy, but yet we've also seen her in things like Line of Duty, and she's hilarious in this series. Oh, it's so good. She manages to wangle a job as a reporter with the local paper. Okay. and starts doing her own investigation, which is just very, very amusing. So it's very funny and quirky, and he's got all these files back at her home that he's going through in a hope to find a clue that will unlock the whole mystery. But yeah, meanwhile, he's being called in by the cops to kind of help them with really tricky cases. So in episode 1, at a theatre, this old woman goes to see a show with her 2 daughters, and during the blackout, she dies, and no one can figure out like who has done this. And so there's it's a bit of a Poirot style, which everyone loves, of course. He goes to the theatre and he assembles kind of all the suspects, and then he explains with a flashback, this is what happened, but then there's a big twist. So it's just got so many great elements to it, and also it's also got some genuine jeopardy, because Ralph Ineson from The Office plays like the top cop, and he's genuinely scary, and he's clearly, he's got something to hide. It's charming, it's intriguing, it's funny, it's got a bit of danger, it's got fantastic chemistry between Anna Maxwell Martin and David Mitchell. So yeah, I mean, it really is a winner.